remember I have started this business back in 2019, but it was online business. So I started just with the evening gowns. I was doing like a renting, a service. But then after the pandemic, everything was kind of like settled down. I decided to open my like a permanent place, right, where brides can come, try the dresses on. So for me, it's not just the shopping, right? For me, it's an event. It's a special event for every single bride because they come with their, with their families, friends to shop, right? To find that a beautiful dress. Yeah. So, and I have this place for about like year and a half, I would say. Yes. I was working in Louis Vuitton, right? It was not in Ukraine, it was in Mexico, right? So I was ready to wear especially. So I was in charge of ready to wear section, which selling high-end clothing, right? I loved it so much. I worked with the high-end fabrics, right? Because the clothing in Louis Vuitton is very expensive, but I loved it because the experience was very elevated. I had beautiful and talented and very fashionable clients. And since that, I decided that in the future, one day, I would love to have my boutique, right? I wasn't thinking about the bridal boutique, but I was thinking about the clothing store. Then after Louis Vuitton, I studied hospitality and I started my working experience at the hotel. So I was in charge of a spa department within the hotel, and we had so many brides. Loved it. Since then, I was starting kind of like the picture starting getting together all the pieces, and I loved them to dressing them up and to make their hairdo and makeups. So and then I decided to come to Canada, right? And I started the business management, hospitality management, and one of my friends from Ukraine, she's actually a bridal gown designer, and we came up with this idea to open a small boutique and introduce Ukrainian brands.
Of Kitchener-Waterloo, what do you think of the community here? It's very welcoming.
We have a lovely community, especially bridal community, because everybody's so inspired what they do, right? And then how we collaborate on, I would say every 3 months we create photo shoots, right? So everybody who is involved in bridal industry, like makeup artists, photographers, videographers, bridal venues, myself, bridal dresses, models. Then we have the catering, right? Florists, and we create beautiful, beautiful content.
So since you were talking about the community coming together, there was a recently held Cambridge wedding show.
Yeah.
So is there another one coming up soon, and how did this one go?
So this one was the first one. So the planners of this wedding, Cambridge, it was a show, and it was a week. It was a whole week of the something that was happening, like an event, bridal event, right? So it was the first time ever in Cambridge, and they're planning to do it every year. So next year we'll have another one. So because it was a total success.
So what are your 3 tips for women entrepreneurs?
I think we have to follow our passion, right? That's and be honest and be and support each other, because we're here because we are women. We have to support each other. We have to inspire each other. Otherwise, there is no success when you are just working, for yourself, right? You have to be a giver in order to get something back, right?
So since we were talking about bridal trends and you were telling me about 3D flowers and Oscar being your inspiration, can you tell me a few bridal trends for the year 2023, 2024?
So as I mentioned, very minimalistic styles, very clean fabrics, light fabrics, very fit and flare silhouettes, I would say, not the ball gowns, A-line gown, but the main focus will be on accessories. So if the dress is kind of simple, on a simple side, so you have to accessorize it with additional like a hairpiece, veils with some details. So that's actually right now what we're seeing and what my bride's asking.
So, since we were talking about veils, a lot of brides go for elongated veils. What do you think elongated veils is something that should be stuck to Pinterest and not brought to reality, or do you think it's very dreamy and should be stuck to the wedding destination that you're going for?
You mean veil?
Yeah, the
Yes.
elongated
Of
veils. Yeah.
course, like cathedral. I think you like cathedral long
Yeah.
veil. It's something. It's the. I think it's the main feature of the bride, right? Because you can have a like a very cute dress, white
Yes.
long dress, but we can consider that dress as an evening dress. But when you put the veil on, like the cathedral one, it gives you a real bridal look. And I heard comments from the grooms, right, that they love seeing their brides wearing the veils. They love it.
How do you think you can change a look from a wedding look to a wedding reception look? Do you have different gowns for wedding receptions, or is it just normal weddings?
So right now, I cannot say that I have too many brides who ask for two looks, but it's coming because also it's a trend of 2024 having a short wedding dress. But what we're trying to do with my designers, we're designing Vona Bridal collection that will be just for this area because I'm hearing feedback from my brides, and based on that feedback we're creating gowns. So in this June, like 2023, we're getting dresses short but with the overskirt, detachable long skirt. So for the ceremony they can have a beautiful long train skirt dress, but then for the reception they can remove that skirt, right, and have something shorter. Yeah, that's how they how they play their looking right now.
Exactly. Do you think for summer brides they should stick to florals, or what kind of dresses would you recommend for summer brides since summer is coming up?
I would say that I cannot recommend that like they have to stick to the floral design. It's very personal preference, darling, right? So I always hear them, I listen to them, and then based on their inspiration and their ideas, then I recommend. Of course, I mean, you can have a floral design even the like early fall time, why not? But as I mentioned, very, very personal. Some brides, they don't like florals, right? So why they should wear the floral design? Then they can accessorize with the bouquet, right?
Yeah. So for summer brides, what do you suggest? What
So
should summer
for
brides go
summer
for?
brides, first of all, for this, I would suggest maybe something with the short sleeves, right? If it's okay for you, right? Some brides they want to cover, but for the summer, I think it's a good, it's not hot, right? And something very light fabrics. Then, because you don't want to be uncomfortable during your wedding, right? You don't want to carry the dress. And I think it's the best way to feel and beautiful and comfortable when you love what you're wearing and it's not bothering you.
So, what fabrics do you recommend for bridal outfits? Like, if a bride is choosing an outfit, what fabrics do you suggest
So
they should
I
go for?
usually suggest something light, like I can even show you, but that's fine. Like a
You can
with-
show it. Yeah, you can just show a few
Yeah,
outfits.
sure. So something like, for example, let me see. Something like this, very clean. Yep, like that. You see, so it's very clean and soft fabric. It doesn't have any layers. We call it crepe, right? Crepe. So it doesn't have any layers and it's stretchy, right? So so you'll feel comfortable sitting, right? And enjoying your dinner. Something like that is it's a good option. And then give you one more like busy gown. So this one has that, it's still very light, but it has the same fabric that I just showed you and the tulle. You see? So then it gives a different layer of shimmer and more like a royal looking. So something like that is also because it's a very light dress. So the light fabric, light breathable fabric, right? And you'll feel the difference as soon you try the dress on. Yeah.